Well, hi. My name is Abraham Robinson. I'm a member of the Fighting Texas A&M class of 2012.
Whoop! Hi, my name is Hanlin Song, and I'm also a proud member of the Fighting Texas A&M class of 2012. And so we're here to talk to you about how do we become involved in veterinary medicine, and we're about to graduate actually tomorrow. So start from me that I become interested in veterinary medicine junior year in college. That I didn't know that I was gonna go into veterinary medicine from the beginning of when I was little, but I took the classes. I was involved in the Biomedical Science major here in college, and I learned about all the fantastic science and then like how stuff associated with veterinary medicine, and then I said I'm gonna give it a try, and then so I looked more into the opportunity to volunteer in the local veterinary clinics, and then I find they're very fascinating to me, and so that's how I got involved in medicine.
For me, I actually started off at a really young age wanting to be a veterinarian. About age 5 or 6. I was always really interested in exotic animals and going to the zoo, and I always had pets around the house. And my parents would always tell me that from a young age I wanted to be a veterinarian. When I finally made it to college, I actually was on the fence as to whether to become a physician or a veterinarian, but the veterinarian really spoke more to where I was passionate and what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. And then I actually had the opportunity when I came to vet school, in addition to earning my veterinary degree, I also had the opportunity to do research. And I actually earned a PhD or a research doctorate in toxicology that will help me more as a clinician and a researcher and a scientist later on in the future. And kind of on that note, my interest in veterinary medicine, I'm actually going to go into kind of a mixed animal practice. It's called lab animal medicine. So when you're at a research institution or a university, there are animals that are here helping us, and we use them for teaching and other procedures, and they need really qualified veterinarians to help them with that. And that's kind of where I've based on my interests and being able to work with a lot of diverse population of animals. That's really what I wanted my interests lie. So that's what I've kind of chosen to do.
Yeah. And for me, I'm going strictly into a small animal practice, private practice. That's how I just feel more comfortable with small animal like cats, dogs, pocket pets, and actually going into an internship after graduation to further training myself. You don't have to go through an internship after graduation. That's just like the path I chose to do. Lots of my classmates going into just a private practice, like a straight private practice, and I feel more comfortable with the mentorship from the internship. I don't know if I want to go into residency or specialize in anything. Right now, the plan is just to finish the internship and then become a general practitioner and go from there. And yeah.
I guess as far as preparation for our careers, I guess the biggest thing for me that I would say that helped me prepare the most for becoming a veterinarian was to always be curious and to never stop reading and to never stop learning, and always have a natural curiosity about science. I was always curious as to how things worked, and that curiosity led me to read things and to study things and to try to be really diligent about my studies, even if some nights I would study for hours at a time and some nights I would only study for 5 or 10 minutes, just as long as I was reading something and always trying to improve myself.
I had to second on Abe on that. Like, one thing that got me into veterinary medicine is the endless learning. I really enjoy the learning experience, and like there's even after graduation when you thought you were done with school, but then you just have to continue brush up on your knowledge and then attending continuing education. And for us, if you ask me like how do you get into vet school, I'll just say taking all the science there's prerequisites that you have to take to get into vet school. But then like once you are in vet school, there's just continuous learning, endless learning, and you're taking more hours than your undergrad or your high school. It's a whole lot more intense, but doesn't mean that we didn't have fun. Like we still have like balance your life and then study at the same time. But just keep in mind this is your main goal, and then once you get in here, it's like difficult, but then you just have to pursue through it, like persist through it to get through vet school. And there's 131 other classmates for you there to study in a group. So like the team support environment is very important in vet school.
Yeah, the experience, I mean, the teamwork that we have in vet school is really amazing, from all the way from your classmates when you're in there with the class, to the faculty that comes in and teaches you, to our clinical professors when we're in the hospital, and even when we're out on calls. You can actually learn a lot from your clients when you're out there. You learn things because they're with their animals a lot more than you are. You're just there for a brief moment in time. So as a whole, I mean, the entire vet school experience has just been an awesome educational experience, and I mean, it's just something that I will always treasure and look back on and always see as a great time. And I have a new family in addition to my family now that I'll have with me for the rest of my life. So it's kind of an amazing thing. I think the biggest difference between if you compare veterinary school to an undergraduate education, I guess I'll use an analogy that in undergrad they will teach you that a rock exists, but in veterinary school they're going to ask you, why does that rock exist? So there's kind of a higher level of thought that you need to know to be able to do what you need to do. If an animal walks into your client, you don't need to know so much. You need to know that it is a dog, but you also need to know what types of scientific procedures that would best help that animal and to make it healthy again.
Yeah, again, I second on Abe's opinion about like how this is different from high school or college. I say like curiosity is what drives me through vet school, college, until you just continue learning and you just keep learning. There's endless information out there for you, and then you remember like you are the one that provide information to your client, to your friends, family about their pets, and so like just remember this responsibility. That's what I think is different. So in addition of what we said, I just want to mention that one thing really draws me into veterinary medicine is the plenty of opportunity that provides within the veterinary medicine field. For me, particularly that international travels, I mean, veterinary medicine is all over the world. There's animals everywhere. You can always find the opportunity to work abroad. So like I'm particularly interested in Asia area, but then Europe, Africa, I have classmates that go trip to in Africa taking care of rhinos, and then they sedate cheetahs, work on cheetahs, and so like for conservations, and they go to Peru, work on their Amazon birds. So there's like those are awesome, amazing opportunities for us that once we finish our degree and we can work on and work with wildlife, international experience, that you name it, you have opportunity to do it.
Mm-hmm. And just seconding what Hanlin was talking about with the international experience, I mean, I've personally had the opportunity to help with research that was being done in Africa and Asia, and then even back here in the United States. I mean, I have had an awesome opportunity to interact with international students, and that's the beautiful thing about veterinary medicine. It's truly an international community where you get to interact and learn from a diverse group of people that can teach you a lot and kind of change your perspective about the way that you see the world, and honestly it'll make you a much better person. Another thing that I've actually learned from some of my international classmates was time management and the way that we manage our time as far as studying goes. The way that we do it here in the United States sometimes is a little bit different than maybe Hanlin did it when she was in China, and then when I have colleagues that are in Ghana, West Africa, and it's different than the way that they do it in Ghana, West Africa. And it's just been an amazing experience to be here and to take what I've learned from my experiences here, and then take what Hanlin's learned, and then what our other colleagues have learned, and kind of mold it into one way, into one fashion that I can use to manage my time and study and perform more effectively.
Yeah, a lot of what I use, like people ask me, like, how can you stay on top of everything, like remain focused with all these things going on in your life? Like we have I use to-do lists, and I have a list like every day reminder to tell me like, okay, I check off I need to do this studying for this class, and like you're always studying for exams.
You're always studying
There's
for something.
even though there's every week there's an exam, you always or more than one exam you have to study for, so you can never say I'm gonna wait for 2 weeks and then focus on one course and then the other course. Soon you realize that you're falling behind. So like keep up with your daily work at the review at the end of the day, and then try to stay on top of things will definitely help us to go through this.
Yeah, checklists are amazing. I mean, just writing down what you have to accomplish for that day, and then what you need to accomplish for the week, and then what you need to accomplish for the month, and then as you go through, check off what you need, what you get done with the day, and it gives you, not only does it keep track of what you're supposed to be doing, it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you're able to check something off, and then you know what's left for the next day, and then maybe you can change your schedule around for what's due that week, and then you can adjust it for what's due that month, and then at the end you realize that you've accomplished everything and you've stayed on top of everything. So,
have you guys changed anything at all from when you came in to now as of what you want to do as career choice?
oh yes. Actually, when I came into vet school, I had an experience at the University of Missouri working in the comparative orthopedic lab. So when I came into vet school, I was adamant that I was going to be an orthopedic surgeon, small animal or large animal. I wasn't really picky. And it's turned out that I'm actually starting a job at Yale University as a laboratory animal veterinarian. So while there is a surgical component to what I will be working on, it's by no means the major focus of my career anymore. So my career interests have definitely changed since I've been in vet school, but I think it's been a change for the good.
For short answer to that question, like whether I changed my career goal throughout vet school, is no. I came in as knowing wanting to be a small animal practitioner, end up going into small animal practice after graduation. However, I did deviate in the middle, like trying to discover myself in the middle, like maybe second, third year, giving myself opportunity to work with horses. That's where the international experience come in for me. I went to Hong Kong and worked with the jockey club, like racetracks, for a couple of weeks, and I really truly enjoyed my experience there in Hong Kong and working with international vets working on racetrack. However, I did realize that when I came back, there's like the opportunity for me here is limited, and I need to my true favorite favorite species is still a small animal. I feel like I'm more comfortable with them, so that's why I chose to be a small animal practitioner. However, I do keep my options open, and I hope one day that I will ever eventually go back to Hong Kong and work on those racetrack horses.
Just